Hi guys, let's take a look at the polynomial and finding the x and y intercepts. So here we got 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 12x. By the way, because this polynomial's highest power of x is 3, this polynomial is degree 3. So hopefully you know that already, but just in case. And because it's degree 3, that actually tells you that you're not going to have more than 3 x-intercepts. So that's like the largest possible number of intercepts you can have, x-intercepts. Okay, now to factor it, we need to factor out the GCF. So what is GCF? Greatest common factor. So 2x cubed is the same thing as 2 times x times x times x. 10x squared is the same thing as 2 times 5 times x times x. And finally, 12x is 2 times 6 times x. So now if we look at and see what do they share, we obviously see that they share a 2, which we can pull out. And then they also share 1x. So looks like the GCF here is going to be 2x, which we can pull out. So then what's left? Okay, so looking at the first term, it's x times x, which is x squared. Then we got that minus, so we need to write that here. The 5 and the x from the second term. And then it looks like just the 6, and that's it. Okay, so once we did that, the next step is to actually factor this part by trial and error. And that's not hard because we're looking for two numbers that would multiply to 6 and add to -5. So that is a piece of cake. That's just x minus 3, x minus 2. Okay, so we factored it. Let's see if we can just come up with that here. Okay, and the next thing we do is we're going to look at what are the actual x-intercepts. So there is something called zero factor property. And zero factor property says this: in order for us to solve an equation that's already in factored form, why are we even factoring? Like, what's the point? Well, the point is because we want to solve and set it equals 0 and solve for x. And when it's factored, it is a lot easier to solve for x because all you got to do is just look at each term and figure out where and when that is going to be 0. So for example, 2x equals 0. Please do not tell me that the answer is -2 because that's not right, because this is multiplication. And so you can actually divide both sides by 2, and 0 over 2 is just 0. So x equals 0 is one of your intercepts. X minus 3, when you set that equals 0, that will give you x equals +3. And x minus 2 equals 0 will give you x equals +2. Okay, so the intercepts here are going to be 0, and then the y value is obviously 0 because for all x-intercepts, y is also always 0. So we got 3, 0, and then we also have 2, 0. So those are the points. Now, in terms of the y-intercept, how do we do that? Well, that's actually very easy because for the y-intercept, there can only be one. And all you're doing is just plug in x equals 0. And when I plug x equals 0, all of these terms are just going to turn into zeros. So the y-intercept will also be 0, 0. That repeats with one of the x-intercepts.